Developing tonight, controversy as one college protest over the president-elect turns into what seems like a hostage negotiation. Students at George Washington University in the heart of our nation's capital are now presenting school leaders with a list of demands, and they're targeting the men and women who keep them safe every day. A letter from nearly a dozen student groups reads in part, quote, "The Fraternal Order of Police includes over 10,000 members in D.C., many of which have jurisdiction over GW's campus." And they go on to suggest that placing students in these officers' care is an act of violence. Jeff Rorda is the spokesman for the St. Louis Police Officers Association and author of the new book, The War on Police, How the Ferguson Effect is Making America Unsafe. Also here is Dorian Davis, adjunct professor of communication at American University. I'll start with you first, Jeff. What do you make first of this list of demands and them saying that this is an act of violence to have police protect them on campus?
I thought someone was pranking me when I read this story in my email this morning. I mean, it's just nonsense. You talk about white privilege. I mean, these rich kids running around aimlessly on this campus think that they can tell law enforcement and union members who they can support for president or who they can't is simply absurd.
Dorian, people are hearing this right now and they're thinking, what are they saying? What do they want? Do they not want the police to protect them?
Well, Sandra, thank you for having me. Yeah, the police have to wake up, I think. I have students at American University where I teach who are crying and struggling and fearing for their well-being in the wake of this election. And those are tensions that are not going to go away anytime soon. You know, the KKK voted for Trump, supported Trump in this election.
Can I first get Jeff to respond to that, Dorian?
Is he implying that because we supported Trump too, that makes us akin to the KKK? So what if the kids are crying and weeping because they didn't get their way? Maybe they should act it out at the ballot box instead of mamby-pambying after the election's over.
Dorian?
Well, to be clear, I'm not implying that, but I don't think it's a surprise, since both groups did support Donald Trump, that some students may feel some concern that the police and hate groups like
Dorian,
the KKK
that's what
are
the kids are saying,
coalition.
right? These college students are saying that voting in Donald Trump was an act of violence, and therefore having police that support Donald Trump, it is an act of violence on their campus. Is that what they're saying?
That is what they're saying, but two things, Sandra. Number one, you have to remember that college campuses are homes to these students. The faculty and staff, they can go back to their residences at the end of the day, but if there's something that bothers these students on campus, they have to live that day and night, and they have a right to address concerns that they have in their home.
Jeff?
Yeah, don't call 911. When somebody holds them at knife point and tries to steal their copy of Chairman Mao's Red Book, then they can reason with the guy and tell him why his life matters and why cops don't. You talk about hate speech. You've been paying attention for the last 2.5 years at the hate speech aimed at law enforcement?
Dorian?
Well, cops' lives matter as well, and I didn't imply that they didn't. But one thing you really have to remember, Sandra, and I think this is important for everybody, these are young activists, so yes, the demands might seem extreme to some people, but you have to remember,
Dorian,
they're
I think
still
it just appears disrespectful of the police and the police community that is going to answer
democracy.
that call of 911 and is going to come to your door when you say somebody is invading your home. I'm looking at Jeff and I'm thinking, I wonder what it's like to be a police officer in that environment.
I wonder what it's like to be a student who fears for their safety on their own campus.
But the fears aren't rational. The fears that the cops had if Hillary Clinton had been elected with all of her anti-police rhetoric, and I'm a long-time Democrat.
We've got to leave it right there. I didn't realize I'm up against a break.
House of Representatives.
Happy Thanksgiving to both of you. Up next, Ainsley Earhart from Fox and Friends. Sorry, guys.